When someone mentions video game rivalries, the first two adversaries to probably come to mind are Sonic and Mario. I mean, these two have been duking it out since the 90s, and while their rivalry between each other has diminished over the years, their respective fans haven't forgotten about it. I mean, search Sonic vs. Mario, and as you scroll down, you'll find video after video of people pitting the two against each other. So I figured it's my turn to put my 2 cents in and tell you who I think would win. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, I think Sonic would beat Mario. I know, big shocker, a Sonic fan thinks Sonic would win against Mario. And I feel like I should go ahead and make the distinction that I think Sonic would have trouble fighting Mario. It seems that when people pit Sonic and Mario against each other, they think Sonic and Mario beating each other would be a cakewalk. I don't think that. I think Sonic would have some trouble beating Mario. It would be a challenge for Sonic. But with that out of the way, let's get on to the evidence. So the first thing we should get out of the way is the fact that these characters are crazy powerful. Mario seems to have a lot more raw strength, but Sonic is just way faster. We already know Sonic can run faster than the speed of light. Let me say it again. Sonic can run faster than the speed of light, which means Mario can't react fast enough to avoid Sonic. And what's the point of having more strength if you can't hit your target? I will give Mario this though, Sonic is super cocky, so Mario would more than likely manage to get a few good hits in on Sonic. You also have to take into account the durability of both Sonic and Mario. Best I can tell, Mario's best durability feat is that he managed to take this. That's one crazy explosion. But you know, Sonic has handled something more powerful. For anyone who hasn't played Sonic Colors, that is a black hole made entirely of hyper-go-on energy. That explosion Mario took may have been as powerful as a nuke, but nukes aren't more powerful than black holes. I'm sorry, Mario fans, they're just not. And you may be saying, but Lucas, Sonic only got hit by the tail end of the black hole. Meanwhile, Mario got hit by the explosion at point-blank range. And to that I say, no, Mario didn't. When you slow the video down, you can see that the explosion never actually leaves the stadium. And since we know that Mario was near the edge of the stadium walls, it means that he only really caught the tail end of that explosion. This matches up with the fact that both Mario and Luigi weren't really scuffed or hurt in any way after that explosion. At least compared to Bowser, Wario, and Waluigi. And yes, while Sonic did pass out after he had been pulled into the black hole, he woke up almost immediately after. He's then pulled out of the black hole by the wisps, gets set on the ground, shakes it off, and says to Tails, "A hedgehog's gotta do what a hedgehog's gotta do." And I won't even begin to mention all the times we've seen Sonic faceplant from extreme heights, take incredible falls, and be rolled around and flattened like pancake batter. But durability isn't the only thing Sonic's got against Mario, because we also have to compare how versatile the two are. Now here's another thing I have to give Mario props for. When it comes to versatility, Mario is pretty equipped. I mean, he's got a lot of power-ups, hammers, hats, and fighting skills that would leave him well equipped for a fight against Sonic. But Sonic is just way more versatile compared to Mario. For example, on the ground, Sonic has the options of his spin dash, drop dash, boost, axe kick, Sonic wind, Sonic leap, the list goes on. We've seen time and time again that Sonic boosts with enough force to literally blow enemies away. We know modern Sonic can do the drop dash because that is a returning move in Sonic Frontiers. And we know modern Sonic still knows how to spin dash because it's one of his moves in Smash Bros. Same with the Insta Shield. Meanwhile, Mario's limited to his fighting skills and the abilities of his various power-ups. But I think where Sonic really beats Mario in terms of versatility is air combat. Because here's the thing. Mario may be well equipped on the ground, but once he's up in the air, there's not a lot he can actually do. I mean, without power-ups, he can do a little spin or ground pound, but Sonic can do that exact stuff and then some. In the air, Sonic can choose between his homing attack, his insta-shield, his stomp, his bounce, his light speed dash, which has been shown to damage enemies, his various attacks from Sonic Frontiers, his tornado attack from Sonic Advance 2, etc. So when it comes down to it, Sonic is just a whole lot more versatile than Mario, and that's one of the main contributing factors to why Sonic would win against Mario. While the topic of Mario's power-ups are still fresh in our minds, let's discuss how his power-ups can't really counter Sonic. For one, with most of Mario's power-ups, Sonic would be able to just completely avoid them. Two, the ones Sonic can't avoid, he won't really be affected by. One of the power-ups that come to mind is the stopwatch. This power-up has the ability to slow or even stop time. And now you, the viewer, may be saying, this power-up stops time, Sonic can't possibly counter this. And to that I say, you're right. If it weren't for Sonic Forces. In this game, you've got the creation of null space, a dimension where nothing exists, not even time and space. But Sonic still manages to not only run through null space, but escape it. Even Eggman comments on how this is impossible.
It's impossible to get out of the Phantom Movie's null space!
Now granted, the rookie did help Sonic escape, but we already know Sonic did all the heavy lifting. And so Sonic is fast enough to run in a pocket dimension where space and time don't exist. You already know that Mario's stopwatch ain't doing crap to Sonic. But let's not forget about Sonic's trump card. That's right, I'm talking about Super Sonic. Because here's the thing, all the feats I just went over are all Sonic in his base form. But Super Sonic's abilities have been said to far surpass base Sonic's. This form is why I know Sonic the Hedgehog would beat Mario. Sonic has used this form to take down a literal god, stop a moon-sized space station from falling into orbit with help from Shadow, take down a world-ending monster, fight a fourth-dimensional being, defeat said fourth-dimensional being, and stop a creature who was literally bending time to Eggman's will. And that's not even half of the stuff Sonic has accomplished in this form. And Mario has nothing to counter this form with. Any of the power-ups that offer him invincibility last 10 seconds. His Giga Cat power-up from Bowser's Fury doesn't do anything except make him bigger. And his normal power-ups would do nothing because Super Sonic is practically invincible. Super Sonic is Sonic's trump card in this fight. Mario may be able to go toe-to-toe with base Sonic, but once Sonic goes Super, Mario better start running. And with that, this theory is coming to a close. This was a long one, but that's because I had a lot to talk about. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next week on the YouTube archives. Or not, it is your choice in the end. Bye now.